Welcome again. This tutorial is about adding transitions and text to your video. So, my first word of advice is please choose one transition that you like that fits the theme of your film and stick with it. You don't want to move from transition to transition to transition because it just is confusing for the viewer. At most, you can use your one chosen transition and maybe a dissolve, but I digress. So here I've set up some of Isaiah's clips, and instead of just something jumping from clip to clip, we add what's called a transition to kind of bridge the gap. To get there, we click Transitions, and it pulls up all these neat little doodads. You've got fade to black, and cross blurs, and spin outs, and circle opens, circle closings, cubes. And that's why I say just find one you like and choose it, because having so many different ones is just confusing to the eye and to the audience. So my son is a fan of puzzles, so I'm going to choose Puzzles Right. And I'm going to stick with Puzzles Right. The way I add it is I'm going to click on it. I'm going to drag it in between my clips. If you notice, the little blue box has shown up to show you where the transition is going to go. So before we have this, just a quick little cut to Daddy. And now we have this. Just makes it a little bit smoother for the eye. You're trying to please your viewer. We make videos to entertain ourselves, but you also want to please the viewer because they want to share in your art. So now that I have my transitions, I can worry about some text. The text that most everyone will use is a title. So let's go to titles. And once again, here you only really worry about picking one because you only need one. If you click and hit spacebar, it's going to give you a preview of how the title appears. This one's just called Reveal, so it kind of fades in. Here we have Expand, so it kind of starts tight and gets wider. Here we have Focus, blurs and then comes into focus. Here we have Line, if you have a large title or a subtitle. So I try to find something that fits the theme of your film, and I've looked at Pop-Up, which is kind of playful, which reminds me of what my son was doing that day. So I'm going to choose Pop-Up. I'm going to click and drag it to the beginning of my film. And then I'm going to add a transition in between the title and the first shot. So I'm going to click Transitions to bring my transitions back up. Puzzle Right, because that is what I have chosen. And drag it in between. Now I want you to watch. The title is 4 seconds right now. And it's now shorter, 3.7 seconds. So as you're filming, remember that the transitions are going to delete a small amount of the end of the clip and the beginning of the next one. So you need to factor that in when you're filming. Alright. To change your text, you need to click on it, double click, and that'll pull up a highlighted area in your screen. Then you just type what you want. So I've been calling this A Day in the Life of Isaiah. Alright, I don't like the way that looks, so I'm going to change it to just A Day in the Life. Now, hit your check mark so that make sure to save your text. And there we have it. So now we have a small beginning, A Day in the Life, and it goes into our video. If you wanted to add another title, say by Isaiah, just drag it, drop it in, by Isaiah. Now that I've added a new clip, I'm going to need to add another transition, puzzle right, the one I have chosen for this video. Title is also where you can find your credits and any other type of information that you want to add. Not always just a centered title. So say we want to, when we get to his pets, he wants to let the audience know who his pets are. We can take something like clouds and drag it. And here we have our blue line again, and we are going to overlay this on top of the clip. So I drop it, double click so that I can type into the box. This is Roro. Description, he's my cat. Make sure you hit the check mark, and you're done. Preview it.
Yes.
And don't worry about some of this jumpiness. Once you export your movie, it smooths all of the jumpiness out. Once again, we have another animal, so we may want to let the people know that this is Bebop, my dog. Check mark. And you're done.
Oh. Yes.
Roro, my cat. And Bebop, my dog. That's how you overlay text and use your transitions in iMovie. Alright. Thank you guys.